Hello guys, this is Carter from EOS Rapid, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get started with zero-knowledge proofs on the EOS mainnet. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to zkrepl.eosrapid.com. Over here you can write your own zero-knowledge circuit using Circom. I've already prepared one, and this circuit is going to allow us to prove to a smart contract that we know the factors of some number without disclosing those factors to the contract itself. So for example, if we want to prove that we know the factors of 65, which include 5 and 13, we generate our proof. We check to see in our proof that A is greater than 1 because 1 would be a trivial factor. We ensure that the parameters are sorted so that the smaller one comes first. And then we check to ensure that C equals A times B. C is 65, A is 5, 13 looks good. And the only public input that we're using is C. So the contract that's checking the proof won't be able to see A and B. Okay, so now that we've made our proof, we just need to compile it, and to do that we hit Shift Enter on our keyboard, and then we're going to click Groth 16. Now one thing to note is that in production, make sure that you build your circuit using the Circom CLI and use the Circom CLI to generate your Z key and V key, but since we're just going to be deploying to Jungle Testnet today, it's fine just to use this as is. Okay, so we're going to need two files. One is this groth16.html, and the other is this EOS contract zip. Okay, first let's compile our contract. I'm just going to go ahead and open up our contract in VS Code. And to compile our contract, all we need to do is run bash docker build. Build docker. Okay, while that's building, I'll show a little bit at the contract. So this is just a demo contract. What it's going to do, it's going to verify our proof is legitimate, and then it's going to store the proof input A, B, and C to a table in the contract. Very, very simple. Okay, so we're going to need a Jungle Testnet 4.0 account. So we can just make one, I don't know, ZK. Let's do ZK. And then we're going to need a key. Of course, we wouldn't use a in-memory key in production, but since we're just testing on the Jungle Testnet, it's fine. And our account is ZK. Okay. Faucet, give us some EOS, power up. Okay, looking good. So now our account should exist. We should be able to see it here. Okay, we can. And the next thing that we're gonna need to do is go ahead and get an API to use. So just grab an API endpoint. Looks like our contract has finished building. We can go check that out where those API endpoints are loading. As you can see, we have a demo contract.abi and a demo contract.wasm. And our API that we're going to be using is jungle4.cryptolions.io. Cool. So I'm just going to, in a new tab, I'm going to open up Tools v2 again and head over to our contract deployer. And we can just go ahead and put in our API there. We have ZK. We can put in our private key there. Of course, Rapid Tools does support Ledger, so you can just put in like USB 1 if you want to use your Ledger, but for now we'll just be using private key since, again, testnet. And then we're just going to use our active permissions. And now we just go ahead and hop over to Finder, grab our built contracts, drag and drop the files in, and click deploy. Oh, we don't have enough RAM. Let's buy some RAM first. Active private key. Payer is ZK. Let's buy 300,000 bytes. 00. Okay. So first we'll buy our RAM. Now that we have our RAM, we should be able to deploy our contract. We are. Success. And now that this is deployed, we should be able to see those things reflected on chain, which they are. And now we can go ahead and submit our first proof. So to do that, we just open up that HTML file, click Generate Proof. It's going to have an EOS hex proof that's compatible. We can just verify it on the client side to show, hey, it's valid. But what we're going to be submitting to the actual contract is the proof. So let's go ahead and do that. So the account is going to be ZK. I believe I got that. And then it's going to be submit proof as the action. And then for our data, we can just copy paste what we just got from the EOS hex proof over there. Cool. Let me just make sure I got this right. All right. And then we just run the transaction. And as you can see, the proof was verified. If I now try to change the input, 0x41 is 65 in hexadecimal. So let's say I'm saying that the proof I generated was actually showing the factors of, I don't know, let's say 64. So I would change that 1 to 0, and this is going to fail. Invalid proof. Cool. So now we can check and see that our proof was stored on chain. And it is. And there you have it. Zero knowledge proof, Groth 16, verified on EOS. Take care, guys.